I got a live video. This is for everybody with Vaseline, because it gets
all my 8 colors
during this pandemic. Cute, you know. So a couple questions that we're going to go through, saying, how are we supposed to during this pandemic. A lot of people have had questions. I've seen posts. I've seen people saying, how are we supposed to, allow people to come on. So y'all bring them on in.
All right. This song is for
during this pandemic. And turquoise, which y'all saw me had on last night. Make sure y'all sharing the live video, tagging the live video. Let's bring them on in. All right, so I think my speaker done had it for tonight. I've been playing it all day. All right, so basically how this is going to go. So if you guys saw my post earlier, basically I sent out a post because I wanted to get different coaches, what's the word I want to look for? Different coaches' methods to how they actually have been surviving during this pandemic. A lot of people have had questions. I've seen posts. I've seen people saying, how are we supposed to charge our parents for tuition? Should we charge our parents for tuition? I gave my input on a couple of people's thing, but I put people's posts. But I want to really get someone on the outside that is in this dance community that is very successful. My original goal was to have 5 guests come on tonight, but Chastity Harris may come on. We'll see. But Stacy Lockett is going to come on. I have sent her the questions, so it's kind of like an interview. I'm interviewing her, but she already has the questions and stuff so ready to go. So a couple questions that we're going to go through. I have 12 questions that I sent each of my guests. If Chastity is able to come on, she's going to come on from MDP. But a couple questions, I think, and if you guys have any other questions that you want her to answer, please make sure that you comment them in the comment section. And once we go through my set of questions, then we will definitely go back through the comments to read you guys' questions and and what have you. Please make sure you guys are sharing the live video, tagging the live video. Do not just come looking. If this is not something of importance to you, you can definitely click the X button. But there are definitely coaches, dance coaches out there that are needing to know what they can do, needing to know what can be done to make sure their dance studio is uphill, make sure, they're not losing any members. What can be done? If this is important to you, if this is a passion, like you say, it's a passion for your dance team and you being a coach, then we want to make sure that you're present. But if you're not going to be active, if you're not going to be present, don't waste my time, don't waste your time, don't even sit on the live. And y'all know I keep it real. I don't, no hard feelings or whatever, but if it don't apply to you, if you don't own a dance studio and you don't feel that this video is going to be of any interest, then mind your business that pays you and go on about your business and find something to pay you. Okay? Because we not even going to go there. So, Stacy, I'm going to go ahead and bring you on, love, if you're ready. I think she's ready. I seen her come into the live. There she goes. So, Stacy, I'm going to go ahead and bring you on. If you can. We're going to go through the questions. And like I said, if you guys have any other questions that you want to ask, please, by all means. Hey.
Hi, beautiful.
Look at you, beauty. What's going on, Miss Girl? Oh, I love it.
Oh, wonderful. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad that they actually brought this Facebook share live again, because I was thinking before, but welcome to your episode of Shady Community. Good thing that you're not on by negativity, so that's a good plan.
Yeah, I try to stay away from that. So
Am I echoing, Stacy, or am I good?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you guys, this is Stacy. I'm gonna go ahead and have her introduce herself, kind of give her little background about her, and then we're gonna get to the questions. Like I said, if you guys have any questions that you want us to answer, please make sure that you comment in them. We will definitely get to the questions once we go through these questions. But I'm gonna go ahead and give her the floor so she can introduce herself.
Oh, Jasmine, first off, just thank you so much for just setting this platform of allowing us to come on, during this time, because it's tough. I'm not going to lie to you. It's extremely tough. And what everyone is relying on now is the support from each other. So I just appreciate you so much for setting up tonight. I cannot thank you enough. Like I said,
thank you.
So positive and so encouraging, because we cannot do this alone. At the end of the day, we do need each other. But for those that don't know me, my name is Stacy. I'm the owner of Pro Status out of Houston, Texas. I've been in business for 10 years. Praise God, 10 years. Pro started off just as a dream. It started off as me fulfilling my passion. My parents invested in me, in allowing me to dance and do different things that I wanted to do. And I went the entire way, by the grace of God. I got to dance professionally. And when I retired from my career and I got married and all that, I still had that burning passion in me of, I got to dance, but I can't do it for myself anymore. I got to pour into some kids. I got to allow some kids to reach the same platform that I reach. So I established Pro Status. You get it? They can reach professional status just like I did. And that's been my mission these 10 years, just with dance, with tumbling, with cheer, everything that my parents, instilled in me. I will tell you this, for those that don't know, Majorette, it's still an extremely new program to Pro Status. We are actually going into our third year. A lot of people look at us and say, oh my God, they're an established team. Yeah, we are established in technical dance and in tumbling and acro, but Majorette was a new entity that I took on because I said, you know what, if I know dance and I can study dance, I can master this. I can have my kids. And let me tell you, we started from the bottom. It was tough. We had teams out there that didn't care for us. That's fine because, again, I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to just pour into these children. We had teams that said negative things. Who cares? But I still pushed my kids because I knew that they could accomplish it if they just put in the work. And 2 years into the game, we won Buck or Die as sophomores. So I say that to encourage you guys. It does not matter if your team is 1 month in the game, a year in the game, or 10 plus years in the game. You still keep pushing. You still keep moving. You still keep allow other people to pour into you. Because I admired a lot of coaches in Majorette before I even got started. Because again, I was clueless. It took us losing to really good teams to push us. To really push us forward. And I'm talking about your Heat dance lines, your Divas of Compton, your Little Geeks, teams like that, where I was like, oh my God, look at these kids. Okay, we're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing. We're not going to give up. And that's what I've been doing. I'm just so fortunate and so blessed to have Pro Status. It's just one of my many businesses that I have. I have multiple streams of income. I have multiple things that I have going on. But Pro Status is so special to me because I get to work in my passion. And I get to work in, the industry. So that's pretty much it for me, my spiel in terms of the gym. But I am here tonight to answer any questions that you have. Even Jasmine, when we get off the live, I'm soliciting my support. I'm an inbox away. I'm a DM away. If any coach has any extra questions, I'm here to help you guys.
Awesome. Okay. So I know they said I was echoing. I put my earphones in, so I hope that's better for you guys. Okay, so one of my questions I have is you're based out of Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
How long has your studio been up and running?
So let me make y'all laugh. I told you Pro Status started as a dream, right? So in 2011, I was working at an elementary school. And I got in good with the custodians. And Lord mercy, I don't work there no more, so they can't fire me. But I got in with these custodians, right? And I had one blue mat, Jasmine. Y'all had one blue mat. And I told these custodians, I was like, hey, I get y'all some food, whatever. Let me in this building. Oh, it's so illegal. Let me in this building from like 6 to 7. I just want to bring in a couple of kids. So we started out in an elementary school with one blue mat. I had about 10 kids. charging like $25, Jasmine, just $25 a month, just so I can start building up my income so I can get a building. So I did that for about a semester, and then I ended up going into this small warehouse. I wasn't in that warehouse for 3 months. We outgrew it so fast, and we ended up in another warehouse. Let me tell you about that warehouse, man. We started from the bottom, literally. We ain't had no AC. We ain't had no heat. I mean, these kids was in a sweatshop. You hear me? My dad, he did his best to revamp the place, to make it a home. But we were in that building for 8 years. 8 years. And it's just this, we literally just moved to our new building that you see all shiny and new and beautiful. We didn't get that way overnight. It took time. It took investments for us to be in the building that we're in now. But Pro has been in the game 10 years. It's been a story of, perseverance and never giving up. But we literally started with Matt and 10 kids.
And I think that's a lot of the struggle, especially with me. I mean, when we go through stuff, we're literally renting. Hold on, right quick, because I'm hearing myself echo. Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Now you're echoing to me.
You can hear echoing?
Okay, a little bit with me. You were clear before. I don't know what you just did.
I just put it back in.
Okay.
I don't know why my stuff is echoing. I don't never have the issue, but I don't know what's going on. So I think that's one of the struggles with people trying to start a dance team. They want to kind of put the cart before the horse, so to speak. With yours being that you went from an hour practice at a school facility to a warehouse that didn't have no AC or heat to now where you guys are at now. I think a lot of people want the go. They want the fast way. And I'm speaking on myself. Like I've been having my dance team for about 3 years in Denver, going on 3 years. And one of the things, the big struggles that I see is we see ourselves pouring out so much money to rec centers and people's activity centers and stuff like that. That it's like, okay, if we're paying you guys, we need to go ahead and be putting that into our own business. It's almost like when you're renting an apartment. You don't want to keep renting an apartment. You want to actually put something towards your own that you can actually call your own. And so that's an amazing testimony for people to know that you don't have to always go in big. You got to start somewhere.
No, and let me tell you, I see a lot of teams practicing out of their homes, practicing at parks. You know what? That's a great start. But I want to encourage you, don't let that be your final stopping point. You start those kids there, but you work and you work. I don't care if you get to the next community center. You know what? You done upgraded from that community center. Because the thing is this, once people see your passion, they're going to want to sow a seed. They're going to pour into you. They're going to see that you're serious about it. And I tell people all the time, Jasmine, when you establish any business, you need to establish your why. What is your why when you do anything in life? Is it, okay, I'm doing this because I want to, make money, okay? Or am I doing this because, I really love kids and I'm passionate about it? Once you as a coach figure out your why, that's what I want to challenge y'all. Figure out your why during this pandemic, okay? When you come out of this, what's my real why in this? Because some coaches I see, they start teams and they do it so hasty, I think sometimes. It's just like, it comes out of the blue, like, okay, they started a team. But what are you really trying to pour into a kid? Somebody says you sound muffled, Jazz. I'm not sure. But I don't know if they can hear me clearly, but somebody said you sound a little muffled. But establish your why first and foremost. When you establish your why, you stick with that. If you have a goal to own a dance studio, meaning in a physical building, because most of you, if you have a team, that's great. But if you want to take it from the park to the community center to, a small rec center, you don't ever stop going big. Like for me, I'm in this building and that's great, but my dream is bigger, like you said, to build my own. I don't want to keep paying somebody. I don't want to keep putting thousands and thousands of dollars into a building that I will never own. So it doesn't stop here. Do I thank God for where we are now? Heck yeah. Do my kids are so funny, Jasmine. I don't even, half the time, don't even need to run the AC. They so used to being in the heat that they help my bill. You know what I'm saying? But you got to figure out your why. Figure out your purpose. If your purpose is to really encourage these kids, to really push them in dance or whatever avenue that you want to push them in, that's going to be what gets you through this pandemic, your why. You know what I'm saying? You can let this pandemic take you out, or you can let it make you better. Think of new things, new ways. And I know we're gonna answer some of these questions later about what to do. But once you figure out your why, focus on that why to bring you through the pandemic.
Got it. Okay. So, that's pretty much a spiel on, kind of ties into where my studio's been at. Can you still hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay. Approximately how many students do you have in your program that you know of?
Okay, so about now we're at about, as a whole, so pro status is not just Majorette. We have competitive cheer, we have competitive dance, we also have a recreational division. Our recreational division, you can think of like a YMCA. These kids don't aspire to compete. Their parents just want them to be active. They just want them, it's like, I want to go and have fun. Drop me off, mama. Let me get around, let me dance, let me tumble. They have no aspirations to compete, and that's fine. But at about 75 students now, about 75, and that is recreational. That's the entire gym. Now, my Majorette division is only about 25 girls right now, about 25 girls.
Okay. Now, I know you said you have recreational. You can still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you said you have recreational. Does that include like your weekly classes and your competitive squad?
So yes, so the way, it's so funny that I'm actually, if I can, I don't know if I can flip my screen so y'all can see it, but I'm actually working out scheduling now. So the way Pro Status is set up is everybody in that gym is going to take class. They have to get trained. I don't care if you compete on the lyrical team, if you are a competitive cheerleader, you will report to class weekly, okay? The competition to me is the icing on the cake. That's where you apply what you've learned. So I have weekly classes, and I call them blocks. So we have like a dance combo block. That's like a 2-hour class. Those kids come in there, they're exposed to every style of dance. That's ballet, jazz, hip hop, tap. I don't care if you don't like it, you're going to be exposed to it because you're going to learn dance. We also have tumbling blocks. That's our biggest blocks. That's where they learn all of their acro. So the schedules are divided up, and I'm actually looking at it on because I'm trying to reblock them now, but they're divided up by skill sets. So if you're coming in as beginner, most of my beginner kids are recreational. Most of my competitive kids, they've been there for a while. So they're on the intermediate advanced level. So it's by ability. It's not so much by age. And they progress each level based upon pretty much their skill set. So you won't get moved up to advanced until you're able to handle the advanced class because the pacing's a lot faster. So the classes, when we do open back up, classes do run Monday through Friday. Competitive, I see on the weekends. So you're probably wondering, like, when is my day off? Thank God I have a staff. I give myself a day, which is Fridays. But sometimes, Jasmine, I'm so dedicated, I don't give myself that day. I'm always there. But we hit our competitive Saturday and Sunday. Y'all wondering, Sundays, Jesus rested on Sunday. Yeah, I go to church. I eat, But then if we got to get ready for a competition, it's a sacrifice. I got to go Sunday. Saturday, I only block for competitive. We're not training nobody on Saturday. Saturday, we working on choreography, we working on routines, but during the week, you're learning everything that you need to get. Okay. Yes, so during the week, you train. That's it.
And so I know you said that you have a staff, and I know I'm going to probably step on somebody's toes with this because some people, I'm going to just say it, some people are greedy. You have coaches out there that want everything for themselves. They don't want to pay anybody. How do you kind of factor that in with your staff? How do you ensure that you as a director get your profit and still able to take care of your staff members?
Well, I can tell you this. Like I told you earlier, I study a lot of other successful businesses, a lot of other successful gyms. And one thing that I can say is growing up as a child, my parents put me, I'm just going to put it out there. I was, the only Black dancer in a room full of white faces that I couldn't identify with. And the crazy thing was I saw how heavily staffed they were, but I also saw how with the staff that they had, they were able to pour into each. It was a common goal that they all had. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't a greediness there. It was we really here for these kids. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I can't think about how much you get paid or how much you get paid or whatever, because we all have the same goal. And for me, I don't have a selfish bone in my body, because I want my kids to excel. Even though I went to the highest level, my goal and dream for my kids are to go even further beyond me. And if it takes me bringing in somebody, I mean, I tell them all the time, something Coach Stacy can't teach you, I'm going to hire somebody that can. I'm going to find somebody that can. I only want the best for my athletes. And if you have that mindset, you can't be greedy. You can't be selfish, because how are your kids ever going to advance? How are they ever going to level up if you just stick them with you? I tell my dancers, your best dancers are dancers who can say, I got something from this coach. I got something from this coach. Everybody poured in something different. Everybody gives them something different. I'm not expecting them to get the same thing from Coach Stacy. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes doesn't think about it. It's kids that may not connect as close to me. They may connect with you if you're one of my coaches. You may be able to get more out of them. You know what I'm saying? So it all starts with the coaches just being realistic, being honest. You can't look at this as a money-making venture. We are not. I spend a lot of money. I spend a lot of money out of pocket. You see what I'm saying? Me getting that new building together, I had to come out of money out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking at the fulfillment of I'm about to make the next dollar. I'm looking at the fulfillment of, man, look, my kid's on the cover of this. Man, my kid went to New York. Man, my kid danced with Debbie Allen. That's the fulfillment that I get. So you got to get away from those dollar signs. You know, my staff, I only bring on, like I said, most of my staff, most of them are in college. But they're on their college team. Like I have Coach Haley. She is the first captain in the history of Texas University to be a freshman. Oh,
wow.
That's who I want. But Haley used to be one of my students. I taught her in the classroom. You see what I'm saying? And when she went off to college, she came back and was like, you know what? She never trained at pro. I was her teacher, you know, at the school. She never trained at pro, but she came back and she said, Coach Stacy, I want to pour it back into my community. I want to pour it back into these brown and black athletes. So she came back. Coach Travis that I have, dynamic coach. He's head of USA Cheer. He found me. He saw the girls on Instagram and was like, oh my God, look at what they're doing. I want to work with them. That's the type of person I hire. They're not selfish. They're not selfish.
Wow.
So it's just, they got to get that mindset of.
So the blessings will come to you. What I'm just hearing she's saying is, if you're doing it for the right reason, and you're in this for the right reason, God will send people to you to make your organization even better. You don't have to go looking for everything. It's going to come to you when people see what you're truly doing, because it's out of concept. Because what I've noticed a lot in Majorette is, even though there's people that say, oh, we don't do it for the money, it's a lot of coaches out there that do this for just a meal ticket.
Correct.
They trying to pay their house. I done talked about it on Shaddi, and I'm not going to get too much into it because that's not what tonight's episode is about. But of experience, I have seen so many people say, oh, it's about the kids, but they taking money and paying their house note, their car note. It's a lot of it going out there. So I think people, when they first start off, they want to have the insight of, oh, I want to do it because everybody else do it. It's almost like a fad. It's the trend.
Yeah.
I want us to have a dance team because you got a dance team. And that's why you see so many parents veering off from people's dance team, because they get there to just get what they can get from the coach or the director.
Right.
And say, oh, she can do it, I can do it, let me go start. And then the next thing you know, we got a whole mess at a competition.
Correct.
We got a whole mess within the community. And that is one of the biggest hurdles that we have had to deal with.
Absolutely.
In this major community. So I appreciate you touching on to where people are saying, people come to you. They see your girls work, and they want to work with experts. So that's amazing. My next question I have is,
can I say something real quick? Can I say something real quick? I can tell you this. I find a lot of coaches who, and it's not all of them, okay? But some of the coaches that I've seen that are now struggling during this pandemic, slight the financial part of it. It's because of the motive. And the thing is this, is that you're struggling during the pandemic because you're focusing on the dollar sign. You're not focusing on what's the mental capacity of my team right now. How are my kids feeling being locked in all day? Because I know I'm about to dang near lose my mind. You know what I'm saying? You're not focused on the true child. And it goes back to that why. And I really need, hey, Kelly, I see Kelly. Hey, Kelly, I really need.
We're not talking to Kelly right now because she saw my chat. I'm over.
Hey, look, in her defense, she had a Zoom class. Kelly was teaching.
Oh, okay.
Kelly was teaching. But it just goes back to, it's your true reasoning behind why are you in this industry in the first place? That's it. Why are you in this business in the first place? Because if all you focus on right now is how much money you losing during COVID-19, can I tell you something? You've already lost. You've already lost because your mindset is not focused on what about the kid? What about the child? How is the child feeling right now? How is the child focused on giving them a call, FaceTiming them, reaching out to them in a sense right now? That's how you that's your team. That's how you keep your team, by getting them right here. So I have to say that because again, it's just the motive. It's the why.
Okay. And I like I said, if you guys have seen my last video, I've had some members leave, and I blamed it. Well, my situation was very clear. They say it was one thing. They said it was because they didn't like virtual practices, and I'm like, you guys are at the end of the day. I feel like if you're paying for a service, I want to do what I can to make sure I still provide a service even during this time. Absolutely. Now, if your child says, "Oh, I don't want to do it because I don't like virtual practices," well, as us coaches and directors, we can't do nothing about that.
Correct.
But it's hard for us to believe that if a parent takes their child off a day before the next month's tuition is due, I'm just like, be honest with me, if you can't afford it, if you can't, if you can't pay for something, a lot of times parents they're not transparent with the coaches.
Right.
And so we got to sift through the mess to get to the bottom line. And like I said, at this point, this is the best time for them to be on something. Correct. Because at home, they're just sitting at home.
They're idle. They're not doing anything. And
so why would you even allow your child to be like, oh, you can go ahead and quit the team? That's okay. No. I have my kids doing challenges every week, whether it's a couple of 8 counts, whatever the case may be, challenge them, and then we still do a practice at least an hour, 2 days a week, just to keep their sanity and keep their mind on track to let them know, hey, we're doing what we can, just mean you guys still acclimated with what we're going to do when we get back with each other. But some parents don't have that drive, and like one of the parents said, I don't have the same passion you do. Like my program, I train my girls up to get prepared to go to a black college. Right. Because that's my goal. They don't know black colleges out here. They don't know black colleges out here. Right. So that would be my why. Right. Is why am I doing what I do? Because I want to push my girls with a recommendation from me and the training they get from me. They could potentially go and possibly even get a scholarship.
Absolutely.
To go to a black college to pursue the arts. Yeah. And a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people just like, oh, we want to do it because we want to do it for trophies and recognition, and that's BS.
It's temporary. And one thing, I know we haven't gotten to this question yet, but just going back to, just pro status as a whole. Yeah, Majorette, we love it. It's for our girls, it is the least stressful, part of our whole organization because they get to have fun. They get to have fun. It's not like, okay, we're going to this huge competition with dancers that don't look like us, and we're the only lyrical team there, and the pressure is on because we got to be just as good as them. You know what I mean? It's laid back and it's carefree. But one thing that you did say that I heard was you are giving your kids something to do each week. Granted, coaches, you may not have the background to say, let me host a ballet Zoom class or let me host a strength and conditioning class. But you know what? If your why is what it's supposed to be, you got a mouth and you got a phone to inspire and say, you know what? Let's log in twice a week. Okay. Let's do, let's just talk. Let's talk. How you feel? How you doing? How are your parents feeling? How are you doing during this time? Okay, now let's also have a forum to where you can encourage them. Let's talk about, how we can get out of this pandemic. You know, I mean, anything. You can have a conversation. You can have, I had my babies come on. You can do a dang near scavenger hunt. Okay, go get me a stuffed animal. Okay, come back. Go find me a furry blanket. Get the kids active in doing something. It doesn't necessarily have to be dance, because right now we are limited. We are restricted. Or some kids live in homes where they don't have the area or the space to do something active, but they can sit there on their phone. If they can make a TikTok video, they can sit there on the phone and have a conversation with you about their day, about what's going on. Let me tell you something. If you're worried about losing your team, that's how you stay connected to your team. It's not about dance right now. Our focus is, how are we going to get out of this pandemic without losing our minds? How are we going to get out of this pandemic better than we were before? So have those open conversations with those kids. It's ways to do it, guys. It's ways to do it, but you got to be creative. You know, you gotta, your focus, number one, at the end of the day, does not have to be about dance. It doesn't have to be about money. It has to be about the welfare of the child. I tell you this, my older dancers, you know, we log on to Zoom, we have class, and it's so funny, Jasmine, because I can just tell when they log on, they don't look right. It's not, they're bothered. They're bothered because, you know, it's the unknown of, oh my God, when are we going back to the studio? You know, everybody's state is different based upon the governor. So everybody's, you know, reopening of the state and the economy is so different. So we all don't know what's going to happen. And I can tell that bothers them. And you know what I do? I don't focus on dance in that moment. I stop and I say, okay, you know what? Why you look like that? What's bothering you? What's really bothering you? And so they're able to say what's bothering them. And then, you know what? Their teammate on the line is able to say, hey, girl, I'm feeling the same way. So you know what just happened? We set up a conversation to where we can release. You know what I'm saying? We can talk. We can just be real with one another and pour out our feelings. And you know what? That's a team. That's a team. You know, so focus on that right now. Focus on the mental capacity and the mindset of these kids, you know, because at the end of the day, we can drill choreography in them. We can drill technique. But let me tell you something. Kids are clever. It's like, I'm not going to do schoolwork unless I got to do it to take the test.
Right. That's true.
So you giving me choreography, Coach Stacy, when we go on competition, these kids aren't dumb. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to lie and be like, oh, we're going to compete here and there. No, we're not competing for the rest of 2020. I've just put it out there. I told them, there's no way I would even put you in that position. And we don't even know as a nation when they're going to have organized sporting events again. We don't know. So you know what I'm focusing on right now is the mental capacity of my children, making sure that everybody is okay. You know, mentally, it's an outlet. It's an outlet, Jasmine. That's it. They just need to find an outlet.
Okay, so what I heard Coach Stacy was saying was, if you guys are using Zoom, if you guys are using Blue Jeans, if you guys are using Facebook Messenger, it doesn't all your program at this point is not really to always do counts.
Right.
Do you know, even with me, like I told y'all, I said one thing y'all could do if y'all never seen marching orders, if y'all never seen taking the stands, my girls get quizzed every week on an episode that week that they were supposed to watch from marching stands, and I give them the questions. I actually looked at the entire season and I wrote questions for myself and I put the answers in them, but it gets them engaged. First of all, they're excited because it's band, it's dance.
Yeah.
They get to see the dances with the band. So who is this captain? What's the director of the band's name? What's the drum major's name? What is the drum major? What is, you know, a section leader? Things to get their mind to go in.
Absolutely.
To where it's like, it's about dance, but it's kind of more than dance.
Yes.
And so definitely I agree with that. You know, it doesn't have to always
give them an assignment.
Give them something else to do.
What college do you want to go to? Okay, go on, you know, let's come back and talk about it. Let's meet next Wednesday and tell me what you found out about this dance team or what you found out about this college. But like you said, it's interactive and it's engaging and you're keeping their attention. You know, for those few moments out the day, you're keeping their, you know, attention. I think that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, and a lot of them then see, like one of my girls, she was like, Coach, I didn't even know this was on Netflix. And I'm like, you know, I'm going to find ways for you guys to still stay connected with dance in some way. Right now, they're on marching, or they're on marching orders on Netflix.
That's okay.
Once we get done with marching orders, they're going to take in the stands with the orchesis. So they're going to have to do the research on the orchesis. And then after that, until we get back into it, I'm gonna get them to start looking at Prairie View A&M dancers, the Foxes, you know, these HBCU dancers that are prominent in Southern University, Jackson State JSET. Those are all things that they can look at, and it's preparing them to say, okay, what college do I really want to attend to? Because these dancers got it. You know, and it kind of gives them their adrenaline going. Because I know when I still look at Southern University, A&T Greensboro, and all these dancers, when I look at them, I get excited all over again.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at something that I have a passion for. Right. And so if your passion is in it, your babies, if they want it, their passion is going to be in it too.
Absolutely. And I know you brought something up earlier about the parents, you know, saying, oh, my child doesn't want to log in. I just want to address the parents on the line. And my parents know, because I have some of my parents on the line. I'm very straightforward, but I tell the truth in love. Okay, I tell the truth in love.
I try to tell it in love, but sometimes it comes across a little strong, because I'm a strong
It's okay. That's you. But hey, you get your point across. You reach me.
Right.
You know, everybody has their different ways, you know. But I want to say these to these parents, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of you, I get it, are stressed, you know, finances, jobs, you know, with this pandemic, some of you have lost your jobs. I get all of that. But as parents, we have to do a better job of not taking the stresses out on our children. Listen what I'm saying here. I have 2 daughters and I get it. I get it. But at the end of the day, if my daughters can log in and talk about a show that they saw on Netflix and they're able to take that 30 minutes or an hour just to get away from real life, I'm going to push them to do that. And you guys have to. You're going to have to do a better job. I'm so sorry. I'm very straightforward. You're going to have to do a better job. Because let me tell you something. Your kids are interested if you are interested. They look for validation from you. So if you are letting the stresses of
and they can't make no decision without you.
That's it.
They can't make no decision without you.
We were parents. So if my child came to me and said, Mama, I'm not logging on the Zoom. Last time I checked, I paid for that phone anyway. So you're going to log on. And you're going to listen and you're going to participate, whether you like it or not. And you're going to tell me what you learned with a smile. Okay?
With that part.
But parents, you got to be supportive during this time. I get it. I get it. But at the same time, you have to take an interest in this, because think about it. Your kids really wish they were in school right now. We really wish the kids were in school right now.
As bad as they said they hated school, now they wish they were.
Yeah, they wish they were there. And all we have now is this virtual platform, you know, to log into and to be connected with. So if your coaches are out there, parents, and they're trying their best to do the Zoom calls, okay, participate. Be encouraging. Be supportive. Be supportive.
And one thing I want to touch on that too, and I want to make sure that I say this in the most diplomatic way. I had a parent tell me, she's not on my team anymore, I don't have the same passion as you do. And when she said it, I was like, so when a parent tells you that they don't have the same passion as you do, but they're pouring into your child's life, do you honestly think that that parent is supposed to be a part of your organization?
Let me tell you this. People know, and my parents can attest to this on the line, in my 10 years of being in business, I have let go. Let's just put it like this. I put out a lot of parents who lack support. I put out a lot of toxic parents, because I'm the type of person, Jasmine, if Pro is supposed to be a positive place, let this be a positive place. There's so many kids that already deal with stuff at home. Let this be their outlet. They don't come to a place for foolishness, and I'm not going to allow that foolishness. So if you cannot get with my policies or my expectations or what I'm trying to do positive with these kids, we live in the 4th largest city in the nation. Houston has tons of play. You know what? Sometimes I tell them, I got a list. I will recommend you somewhere for you to go. It's like, I let them go, because I got to remember my why and my purpose. And it's encouraging those kids. It's pushing those kids for their future.
Make sure you guys are sharing the live video, please.
Pushing those kids towards their future. in their passions. And I'm sorry, negativity, drama, mess, it can't stay at pro. It can't stay. And the thing is, I give you a benefit of the doubt. I have a lot of grace. I have a lot of mercy. Okay. But if I see that the toxicity is deeper than me and it's a root, I honestly do try to have conversations with people, Jasmine, and I can say, hey, I get to feel this way, but don't allow this to stem over to your child. And let me tell you, I've lost a lot of dynamic athletes for the actions of their parents. And it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that you can't just let a place be positive. Just let this be. You got to find something wrong. And if you're coming in there trying to find something wrong, you at the wrong place. I don't even let your kid join, because my discernment real high. My discernment is real high. And I can tell when a spirit walks in if I'm going to enroll you or not. That's the other thing, coaches. Stop taking every child that walks in the door. Be discerning. Be discerning about it. Like, all money.
No, because like I said, some of these coaches want to doggone worry about is how much point they're bringing in.
No.
That's what it is. No. So they'll set Joe Schmo, Josie, Choo Choo, and all this
No. I don't take on every kid. You know, I screen, especially now if they're coming in there. Once again, I let my spirit decide. And, you know, my mother, she's my office manager. So my mom, let me tell you, her discernment, her wisdom so cold. She can tell from the moment that they come in by having a conversation with them. If they're coming in negative, my mom be like, "Oh, we got a wait list."
That's the best way to tell them. You know, maybe I need to start using that
nice way. In a nice way.
So, yeah. So that's another thing. You know, you guys can't accept everybody. I have slacked in that area because I'm in a city where Majorette is not big. There's only 3 other teams in this city.
Okay.
And let's just say that my damn team, let me say this. Your dancers are a reflection. I've said this on my lives before. Your dancers are a reflection of you.
Correct.
If you're ghetto, hood, trash talking, encouraging fights everywhere you go, let your girls do X, Y, and Z with Tom, Do, and Harry, and all of that. It starts at your coaches.
Correct.
Remember what I told y'all. Being a coach is a ministry. You are ministering to those kids.
Absolutely.
Those kids are looking for you for guidance. You are another minister to them. You are a role model.
Say that all the time.
And some people be like, well, I don't think that's the, you know, some people get shady Mr. Strube with Coach Dad. There's 2 people, Coach Dad and Baby Dad.
Correct.
And I try to keep them separate as much as I can, unless I got to bring it to Shady T. But again, a lot of people, and I put myself on Shady T. Just the other day, I expressed how I felt, and some of my parents didn't like it. Well, you're off the team. It don't matter. I'm talking about something that you're not a part of anymore. I'm letting my feelings know. So I think a lot of times parents, you want to give the child a chance.
Right.
But again, parents make it so hard.
Absolutely.
And don't let your child be one of the stars on the team. Oh God, we don't even want to get into that.
Well, I can tell you, you know, my kids know at the gym, one person doesn't make our team. And I have proven time and time and time again, like I said, I've lost some dynamic athletes that I trained, but key word is that I trained. If I train them, I can train others. And let me tell you something, honey. If I lose a child, or if a parent doesn't want to comply and they feel the, need to leave pro, which is fine and dandy, let me tell you, my kids know about reblocking. Reblocking is, I'm going to call you in, give me an hour, if that. We rearrange that sucker around. A lot of people don't know. We lost about 4 girls before Bucker died. And the funny thing is, those kids...
Trying to come back.
No. Because let me tell you something. You make your bed, you lay in it. And I can forgive you all day long, but I can't allow, if God delivers you from something and sets you free, you do your best to stay free from that. You know what I'm saying? You just don't involve yourself with negativity. But those babies, let me tell you about, you said the ministry part. you teach your kids resilience. You teach your kids how to persevere. And my dancers know how to persevere. They know how to push through. They know how to be resilient. They know that, you know what, Coach Stacy, yeah, we probably lost those 3 or 4 teammates, and yeah, they were really good. But you know what? We got such and such and over there. She can do this. She got such and such over. Everybody, like I tell them all the time, we need something from everybody on this team for us to work.
Right.
Everybody has to contribute. I don't care if you're not a strong dancer. You may have some heck of a stage presence. You bringing that to the team. Or you may be the person that can encourage. You may be that person to say, come on, girl. It ain't all about technique. It ain't always about it's what they can bring that's conducive to the team, that's conducive to the team, and making them, one team. And let me tell you, I never allow my team to look like we lost somebody. It's like people say, you don't look like what you've been through. No. Because we persevered. I pushed them, and that's a life lesson they can take too, in terms of the ministry aspect of it, is that, if something happens in life, you keep pushing. It may knock you down, but you don't stay down. You get back up. Because let me tell you, some of you coaches, you're relying on these 1 or 2 kids to make your team will fail. You have to pour into those other kids. You got to keep pushing. You know what? Everybody on that team is on that team because they're passionate. It is up to you as the coach to pull out that passion. It is our job to pull out the best in them. They can be, but every kid brings something to that team. I tell my captains all the time, y'all don't make this team. Y'all captains because of leadership. Y'all good leaders. Y'all know how to inspire.
Look, you better say that for somebody else in the back.
I tell them all the time, like, let me tell you, we ever do a call out, I make them laugh. I say, we ever do a call out round, let me line my whole team up. You want to know why? Because I poured into each one of them individually, and I've given them the confidence. Even they may not be the most flexible, but they bring something, Jasmine. And that's what we have to look at. That's what we have to look at. Yes, kids are going to come and go. In my 10 years, I've seen kids come and go, fluctuate. I've had highs, I've had lows. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still here, and I'm still pushing, and I'm still surviving. But it's because of what I'm imparting into my kids, into those children. So stop depending on these 1 or 2 people. And you know what? Here's another thing, coaches. If a parent wants to leave your organization, let them go. Let them go. Sometimes God does things that you guys don't see for you to be blessed. I mean, after the fact, he's pushing you forward. And sometimes you get caught up in numbers. Stop getting caught up in numbers. I don't care.
Because numbers means points. That's why they don't want to lose stuff.
It goes back to the why.
That's why I reverted it back to the church. Churches will accept any and everything, because if they don't, they're too afraid they're going to lose numbers instead of work. I'm not going to go into it because y'all know I preach. Y'all know I preach. It's the same thing. Dance team, companies, it's a ministry. And you can't allow any and everything to come into your ministry. It's just the same thing. You can't be afraid to lose numbers.
That's it. I told them, if we got 5, we got 5. And you know what? I'm imparting them 5, and we're going to keep it moving with 5. You know what's funny? Because if I had just 5, there's going to be people out there that see what I did with those 5, and those 5 going to become 10, and those 10 are going to become 15. The numbers don't matter. It does not matter, but it goes back to the why. The numbers matter if you're looking at a dollar sign. And I hate to say it, if you're in this business for that, I really need you to do some soul searching and search your heart, because it's not about that, guys. It's not about that. If you're struggling during this pandemic, I need you to go back and look at your why. Because my thing is this, we aren't in the building right now. It's a building. It's just like churches. Yeah, we're not physically in a church, but that does not stop us from praising God and worshiping in him and spending time with him. It doesn't change the fact that you can't log into a Zoom call and still impart into your child and still impart into your team. It doesn't matter about that. But you know what? If your heart's not right, and if you're looking at the dollar sign, that's going to be tough for you to log into those Zoom calls. And I really need you. My spirit heavy right now because I'm so passionate for youth. And if you are doing this for the wrong reason, you don't need to return after COVID-19. I'm sorry. Disband your team.
You need to quit during COVID-19.
Yeah, disband your team. I'm just saying it because if you don't have a true heart and passion for this and your motive is wrong, you're not going to be successful after this pandemic anyway because your motive is wrong. So find your true why. Everybody true why. You have something, like Jasmine said, her why is to see those kids go to college, go to these HBCUs, dance on these teams. You know, my why is to see my kids excel in the dance industry, whether they go to California, New York. I just want them to be successful in the industry. You know, so we got to figure that out, guys. We got to figure out our true why, and it's not.
So my next question is, I'm sure people want to know, during the pandemic, have you lost members? And if you have, how many?
Honestly, I can count on one hand how many members I've lost. Let me tell you why. Because as soon as the last time that we were in the physical building was around spring break back in March. And when everything was going on about them shutting down the country, I held a Zoom meeting with my parents, and I had all my parents log in, and I had my agenda set up, and I was just telling, you know what? We are figuring this out together. I'm gonna let you know on the business side, this is what I'm dealing with. On the business side of it, we have a building. Our girls have a home, okay? We have this brand new, shiny new building. We want to be able to go back to that building. This is what I'm asking from you. This is what I gave my parents the option. I said, we're not in the building, okay? We're gonna have Zoom classes, and I'll get into that in a bit, but I want you just to pay half your tuition. Just pay half. Just pay half. And that half goes towards our building. It ain't going in my pockets. You want to know why? Because I had to lay off my coaches who I love so much temporarily for 2 months. Because again, if we're not in the building and clients aren't paying full membership, I can't do payroll. I can't do a payroll. So right now, let's pay half tuition. I gave them that option. Let's pay half the tuition. That tuition goes towards the building. Because you know what? In Texas, these landlords aren't playing with commercial renting. They want their money. And our building comes with a pretty big price tag. You know, but we got 2 bathrooms, we got shower, we got AC. You see what I'm saying? It's a come up from where we began. But again, the bills don't stop. And my parents are so understanding and supportive of that. You know what, Jasmine? Some of them sowed a seed into me and said, you know what, I'm going to pay the whole thing. I'm going to pay my whole monthly due. But it goes back to what I pour into their kid and how passionate I am. I'm not struggling.
If you don't say that again, oh my God.
I'm not begging.
Because
and I'm not struggling.
You, and I don't mind telling people, I don't mind telling people this. My tuition is $80 a month. Mm-hmm. That's all my tuition is. Mm-hmm. When you break it down, if we want to talk about numbers, if you want to break $80 down a month, not a week, a month, that's $20 a week. If you got 4 weeks, that's $20 a week. Break it down again, that's $10 per day per time.
But you know what, Jasmine? It don't matter if you charge them $100. If you're imparting something into them, you see what I'm saying? The people that'll support you will support you. Because I know of a mini business in the Houston area, many large gyms that aren't people of our color that charge you an arm, a leg, cat, dog, horse, cow, and these people pay it. You know, want to know why? Because of what their kids are getting out of it. It goes back to that why. My parents, when I had that Zoom call, like I said, our tuition fluctuates because we offer so many things. It's by the hour. So yeah, we have some packages that are $80. We have some packages that are $100. We got packages that even roll out to $185. It depends on what you get. It depends on what you get, but you get what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? It's what you want to invest into your child. So if you pay $80 and I say, hey, just pay me $40 this month. You can choose to pay me that $40 because you know why? It goes back to your child's home. When they come out of this pandemic, you know how passionate your kids are about their team. You know how passionate those kids are about, they want to go back to their building. They want to go back to their home. And most of them say, you know what, Coach Stacy, I'm paying a whole $80 just because my kid loves it so much. And my kid loves you. So coaches, it can't, again, it has, let me tell you, Lord, Holy Spirit, help me. I'm trying to use my words. If you do it with the right intention and your heart is right, you will have an abundance of overflow and increase, and you won't have to fret. You won't have to worry. And let me tell you, I've offered I have Zoom classes daily. You know, I have, we've been doing a lot of ballet, a lot of strength and conditioning, a lot of things that don't require them to move around. I teach them different turns and leaps to work on. I've also, this is the other thing, show you how I'm not selfish. I've also given them some logins of some studios that I know out of LA that are doing free class. Hey, they doing leaps and turns today. Log on and watch Autumn Miller. Log on and see that. You want to know why? Because I'm truly there for the dance. I want them to grow as a whole.
Right.
To be pushed. So, you know, our Zoom classes are going great. Like I said, I've only lost a couple kids. And let me tell you those, I haven't even really lost them, Jasmine, because I have such an open communication with my parents that if they are struggling, I have a working board. I have a full function board, okay? This is my parent board. These parents have been with me 5 years or more. They're loyal. I can trust them. They roll with me through thick and thin, ups and downs, whatever. They come to those boards and they say, hey, I'm having a financial problem. They keep it real with me. And I say, you know what? Let me go to my board. Let's see what we can do. 9 times out of 10, my board comes back and says, let's scholarship thing. You know what scholarship means? Scholarship means you get to come to pro status for free that month. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? We work with you. And then we say, you know what are you able to pay? Let's put you on a payment plan. Let's help you there. We make ways to where a kid doesn't have to lose anything. Now, the kids that I've lost, I ain't really lost. The only reason they can't log in is because they're having to be shipped somewhere because their parents are first responders or their parents are, you know what I'm saying? They're working in the pandemic, so it makes it hard. But you know what I do? I still I FaceTime them. I give them a call, even if they can't take the class. I'm checking on them. You know, how are you doing? You doing okay? So, you know, it just all ties into your heart. You know, do you really care?
Yeah. And a lot of them don't, honey. That's why I had to get my strength back because it gets emotional for me. And I've had this conversation with my parents. And my parents have been very encouraging, especially the ones that are my vets. Like the ones that have been there a couple of years, they're like, Coach, we've been through this time and time again. We're used to the revolving door. You know, when one leaves, we always get 3 in the play. You know, so some of my parents are very encouraging and, you know, they're just amazing parents. You know, so I just hate, my whole thing is when I take the time, the patience to sow into your child, whether it be mentally, physically, something they will not get outside of this dance team, and just to see them leave for whatever reason, it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
Because you don't never want to see a child leave, especially when you don't spend time with them. You know, so it's not about the money. Yeah. Like I'm having to take a parent support now. A second parent, an old parent that's not on my team because of foolishness. You know, that's the business part. But what I am missing is that child.
Correct. Right.
I'm going to do what I have to do on the business part because you as a parent should have been on your job.
Right.
But as my job is to still try to sow into that child until I can't sow into the child anymore. And parents, like I said, they don't have, some of these parents out here don't have that same passion. They're not going to be the #1 cheerleader, you know, for the dance team, but their children love it so much. You can't have your child love something so much and you're not in it with them. And I tell them all the time, when you sign your child up, you become now a dance mom. Correct. And if you don't have the time, if you don't have the drive as your child does, you have a job to upkeep as well too. Getting them to and from practices, performances, getting their stuff for competitions. All these things, that's your responsibility as a parent.
Absolutely.
So you become just as much as a part of the family as your child is. And if you come and tell me I don't have that same drive or I don't have that same passion, then yeah, it wasn't for you to be here.
Right.
So we're gonna move on. So I guess it's kind of tied on to when you said you can count on how many fingers or how many kids you lost. What? So your parents, you basically answered the question. Your parents did not have a challenge with paying the tuition.
Oh, absolutely not. Let me tell you, they were so encouraging. But again, it goes back to, like you said, Jasmine, what have you poured into those kids? What have you poured into those children? The beauty with me, I have 75 athletes in that building. And I can tell you everything about those 75 children because we have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's not they come in the door and they're just a number. I hug them, I embrace them. Of course, that's going to change now with social distancing, but I make them feel important. The same love, you know what I'm saying, that I would want to feel, I make them feel that. I make them feel wanted. I feel encouraged. Let me tell you something. I know for a fact, like with my daughters, when they go somewhere, they go to swimming lessons and they're so excited about going, you know what? That means that swimming coach is pouring into you. You know what? I'm going to pour into that swim coach because she's bringing out something beautiful in you. She's bringing out something positive into you. So I'm going to sow a seed to her. So let me tell you, it was not difficult. Not a one parent, I can tell you, not a one parent said anything about not wanting to pay half. Like I said, majority of them paid the full thing, because they know of my passion. They know how I love these kids so much, how I love Pro Status so much, just the business as a whole and the ministry part of it. You know, I don't have to offer a Zoom class. I can be in the comfort of my own home, spending time with my family, but because I don't want them to get behind and because I care about their mental capacity, you know, to have something that's allowing them to be active. A lot of them, let me tell you, Houston is so huge. These districts, every school district is doing something different. So you got some kids that can log on, but Jasmine, you got kids that's not doing work at all. So if my Zoom call is their only outlet, then you know what? That parent that's supportive, they're going to love that I'm on that phone with their kid for that hour. Pouring something into them, whether that be an activity or a conversation or just to say, I miss you. Oh my God, what are you doing? Sometimes I just log in and listen. What you doing? What y'all eating over there? You know, just establishing that relational capacity, having that rapport with them. So it was not a challenge. And for coaches that are struggling to get parents to pay, I need you to consider a couple of factors here. Now, if you are a new team starting out, brand new team starting out, just say you're practicing, just say you're not practicing in the building. Just say you're not practicing in the building and you don't have any additional expenses. Communication is key. You know, tell those parents, hey, yeah, okay, we don't have these additional expenses, but when we do open back up, okay, sow this seed, sow your membership or dues, whatever you call them, so we can have this set aside for the future or what we're going to do for the future. You know what I'm saying? You can't frolic with the money. You can't get the money for your own. It has to go into a fund for your dancers because parents need the seats. Hello? You know what I'm saying? And they will count every dime that you said you're going to do X, Y, Z with. So establish why you're collecting the fee. For me, they know we have a building. They know we got to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? We know that if we pay half this tuition, this is pouring back into the place that our kids love. So there's a why behind why they're paying. So instead of saying, hey, you can't ask for membership fees when you're not trying to log into a Zoom, when you're not checking on their child, when you're not doing X, Y, Z. Don't just take money, because I would have my little antlers would go up too and be like, why are you taking my money? What?
And that's the thing that I was saying when I had those dancers that left. That's how I was like, I'm still doing my job.
Correct.
As a coach, I'm still paying what? Blue Jeans is like $23 a month, whatever. To have their Zoom unlimited, I'm still paying that a month.
Yes.
Regardless.
That's right.
Just to be able to still have an interaction. And I don't want to keep, because I wanted to play this one out. But you guys have to understand, that's true. If you are charging tuition and you're not giving something to them, they're going to ask, why am I paying this?
Correct.
So let me go ahead and finish up because most of the questions, I don't want to keep it too far from our Stacy. So you did answer a couple questions in that, because my next question was, did your parents still continue to pay monthly dues? Obviously they did.
Yes.
How are you still able to pay for your studio during the pandemic because of tuition? You guys are still evidently in business.
Yes.
The last question for Stacy, and I'm gonna let her close it up, you guys. What are some ways that you can encourage or advise other coaches and dance directors out there that will help them stay afloat during this time?
I can tell you the one thing that's really helped me, guys, just stay afloat is once I've established, my reason for being in business is I'm not letting a pandemic, I'm not letting a sickness, I'm not letting anything stop me from my ultimate goal. If God has put a dream in your heart and you are passionate about that, you're going to push through. I don't care if it's a worldwide pandemic, flood, storm, hurricane, you're going to keep pushing through. Your parents need to see that you are passionate about your team, your brand. You're passionate about the future behind this, because the beauty in this is that we don't know when this is going to end. Only God knows. But we do know his plans are to prosper us and not to harm us. And if he sets you up with a team, he sets you up with purpose. And you have purpose beyond this pandemic. And I encourage you, whether you lose a child, whether you don't lose a child, whether you got to start your team from scratch, you don't throw in the towel. You don't give up. You don't give up. You don't let this pandemic take you out. So I encourage you, little by little, day by day, establish that reasoning, establish that why. And once you figure out that why, if your why is honest and it's truthful and it's heartfelt, God is going to take care of the rest. I'm telling you, you will be blessed. Your business will stay afloat. You will not go under. Because let me tell you something. SBA ain't paying attention to none of us. We are not considered essential high business like these restaurants and stuff. So this loan money's not coming to us. So we're having to do the best that we can. And the best that we can, yes, ma'am, LaShonda, you have to be determined. And I want you guys to develop that spirit, that never giving up spirit. Let me tell you, I've been through a lot in my personal life. But let me tell you something. I'm growing and I'm growing all because I'm refusing to never give up. Never give up. There is support out there. And I'm going to end it with this. But you find the right support. You don't find anybody that's jealous of you. You don't find anybody that's envious of you and your team and your gift. You find you some real true people that are going to support you. I don't talk to a lot of people out there in the Majorette, community. It's not because I don't want to. It's because I'm the type of person, I'm very guarded of my spirit and my heart. But I will let you in. Mildred's on here. I met Mildred a while back, and we're going to actually do some things together this summer. She's going to bring her team down. And that's because, you know what, she reached out to me. And I'm the type of person, Jasmine, I love, what I'm saying, and I have a passion for humanity and people. And I'm going to do everything that I can to pour into somebody else and sow a seed into somebody else, because that's how I got here. Rome wasn't built in a day. Pro Status wasn't built overnight. You're going to fall down. Let me tell you this. You're going to fall down. People are going to talk about you. People are going to slander you. Who cares? People are people. They don't determine your destiny. So you put your big girl panties on and you pray and you focus on God and you keep moving. Let me tell you something, Jasmine. Every coach who was on here, whose heart's in the right place and who never gives up, I'm telling you, you're going to be better off after this pandemic than you were before. Because let me tell you why. It ain't by accident that we're in this place. God may be moving people out. God may be moving some people out your team that don't need to be there anymore. So find a blessing in this.
And I needed that.
And I'm going to end it on that.
I needed that. So, again, this has been an amazing forum. I'm going to try to do more of these a week just to kind of stay connected with you guys, with different coaches. Hopefully we get Coach Kelly, Coach Chastity, Coach Lindsay, Coach Teresa. There's so many amazing coaches out there that I've had a chance and opportunity to not only talk to, but to work with. And with Coach Stacy and Pro Status, I love Houston. My cousin stays in Pasadena, so that's definitely something that we definitely connect on. Definitely so. But we want to make sure we thank Coach Stacy of Pro Status for coming on tonight and giving her testimony of how she's been able to stay afloat during this hard, difficult time in the dance community. So we appreciate it.
Jasmine, I appreciate you. Anybody that's on, I'm an inbox, I'm a DM away. I don't mind providing support. That's not the type of individual. I'm not a hater. Everybody knows I'm far from a hater. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to win, because it's about the children. And that's the thing. If you truly say it's about those kids, let your actions reflect that. So,
definitely.
Inbox me, Jasmine. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you too. Thank you so much for coming on. And with that, you guys, we're going to go ahead and let Coach Stacy go. So bye, Coach Stacy. I'll talk to you in love.
Y'all be blessed. Love you.
Bye. All right, you guys. We are done for tonight. We're done tonight. To all the parents, everybody that came on tonight, this was another amazing episode of Shaddi Tea in the Majorette Community. I'm your girl, Lady Jazz, with nothing but the tea in the Majorette Community. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please, if you got people that did not tune in, make sure you tag them, share the live video even after we end this. This was a word for tonight, and so many people needed to be on tonight. So we want to make sure that everybody still gets the tea from us. Again, we will try to come back with this next week with another coach. I'm going to try to get another special guest coach so we can go ahead and still do some pouring into you guys and pouring into you guys' lives as we go through with this pandemic. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing week. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon in another episode of Shaddi Tea in the Majorette Community. I'm your girl, Lady Jazz, and I always bring the tea in the Majorette Community. Bye.